Okay, so everyone should always remember the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ about seeing um, fitna or munkar or evil in the world, right? What does the Prophet ﷺ say? When we see it, change it with our hands, meaning you have the resources and the influence to do something about it. If you can't, speak out. If you can't, hate it in your heart, and that is kind of, the Prophet ﷺ indicates us like the bare minimum of faith. And hating it in our hearts is also, is coupled with a dua. One of the things that I think I want to begin by saying is we need to remember dua is resistance also. Like Muslims cannot develop this like secular attitude about how change works. Okay, forgive me, I have to mention this, but if you think Syria was liberated, not because the people who are active in that fight were in tahajjud and praying Allah and saying things like, "Oh Allah, you are all we need," right? "Man ghayrak ya Allah." We have no one but you, ya Allah. Do you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them that victory, right? And it wasn't linked to their constant reliance in prayer? Of course not. And so don't develop this like weird secular attitude. Dua means a lot, okay? It's not little. And in fact, we don't make enough dua for each other. I wonder how different our states would be if we just made dua for each other every day. And I promise you, if you just ask yourself, have I made a dua for at least one person every day? I guarantee you, a large amount of people would say no. I haven't made a dua for someone in like a year. I haven't made a dua for someone in a month. So the first thing is to not belittle the power of seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help, speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I also mentioned in the reminder that this is the way that we process the unprecedented and unhealthy amount of pain that we are experiencing by witnessing all of these on our phones. It's not normal. And making dua, speaking to Allah, crying at night, that is how we literally process what is within us so that we don't fall into despair and a dead heart that no longer feels. Yeah. That being said, beyond that, you don't have power, you don't have influence. Okay. Go to your, local community and ask, can I do something? You know, seek out the experts who are doing this work. Tell me what to do. One of the most beautiful things that we saw in the activism around Gaza and Palestine, this has always happened way before October 7th, by the way. But I think for a lot of us, we began to notice it, after October 7th, is that, the experts were telling you exactly what to do. They say, look, you don't have influence, you don't have power. We benefit, us, Palestinians most affected, benefit from you showing up to a protest. We benefit from you raising your voice on social media if you can, right? So for me, the litmus test is always not assuming because I don't have influence and power, I can't do anything. Well, you have dua. That's like, you always have dua. But in addition, seeking out experts who are telling you exactly what they want you to do, and not ignoring their calls because, yeah, but like, I still don't feel that's enough. Habibi, that's not your call. Like, what is enough and not enough isn't even in our hands anyway. By the way, this is the importance of Iman. If you took a pure secular materialist perspective on what is enough and not enough, right? None of us would be doing enough. And that's just a fact. None of us, we're always not doing enough. That's our permanent state. We're always not doing. I was a full-time imam, and every day I felt I wasn't doing enough as an imam. Because there's always things that we could do better. There's always more things that we can do. So you may not feel it's enough. That's not the right question. Question is, am I doing what I can? Am I doing what I can within my capacity based on what those most affected are telling me to do? And I know this conversation is centered around advocacy, but obviously this has implications on other contexts. And I hope that's helpful.